Today in Capechi's Corner, we're going to look at graphing inequalities in two variables. So when we talk about linear inequalities in two variables, it's an inequality. We see the word line there in linear and two variables. So we're not graphing on a number line. Instead, we're going to use, in most cases, x and y. And then the solution of the linear inequality is where all the shaded region is and maybe on the line if it happens to be a solid line. Okay, so when we're graphing, first thing we're going to do is we're going to write the equation in slope-intercept form. And then we're going to plot the y-intercept and work out the slope like we have. Now, it's going to be a solid line if we have less than or equal to or greater than or equal to. And then we'll have a dotted line if the signs are less than or greater than, or we'll say dash. Dotted or dashed is fine. Now, where do we shade? If it's greater than or equal to, that means we're going to shade above. If it's less than or equal to, we're going to shade below. Okay, so let's practice some. So in letter A, it is in slope-intercept form, right? So my y-intercept is equal to -1. And my slope, remember, is the coefficient before the x. So this is going to be 1 over 1. My numerator is positive, so I'm going to go up. My denominator is positive, so I'm going to go to the right. So when we have less than or equal to, because of this line underneath, that's going to be a solid line. And because it's less than or equal to, we're going to shade below. So we have all of our pieces written down. So let's see how we do. So I'm going to start at -1. And I'm going to go up 1 to the right 1. Up 1 to the right 1. I'm going to keep going. Same thing in the other direction. And then I have a solid line. Arrows on the end. And then we're going to shade below. So our shading is right here. So our solutions, we're not going to write it down like we have in the past. Our solutions are anything in the shaded region, right? And anything on that solid line is considered a solution. Okay, let's do the next one. The next one is not yet in slope-intercept form, so we have to do that first. So if -2y is less than -3x plus 8, divide everything by -2. Now remember, when I divide by a negative number, I have to change the direction of the sign. And that gives me -3 over -2 is +3 over 2. And then I have -8 divided by -2 gives me -4. Okay, so I'm going to start at -4. My slope is 3 over 2, right? So they're both positive. So I'm going to go up to the right, up 1, 2, 3 to the right 2, up 1, 2, 3 to the right 2. I'm going to keep going up 1, 2, 3 to the right 2. Now I have greater than. So that's going to be a dashed line. And that's going to be a shade above. Okay, so again, the solution here is anything in that shaded region, but I'm not including the dashed line, but everything right up to the dashed line is a solution. Okay, let's take a look at the next one. Same thing. I got to get it in slope-intercept form first. So I have 4y is less than or equal to -3x. Divide everything by 4. So I have y is less than or equal to -3/4x. Now, my y-intercept there, this is really +0. We don't write that, but that's where our y-intercept's going to start. And our slope is -3, so we're going to go down, and +4 to the right. So I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3 to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Same thing in the other direction, up 1, 2, 3 to left, 1, 2, 3, 4. I have less than or equal to, so it's going to be a solid line. Make that first. And I'm shading below. So my solution set is going to be underneath here, everywhere the shaded region is. And because it's a solid line, it's going to be anything on that line. Okay. All right, now we're going to go backwards. It says, what inequality does the graph represent? Name one possible solution. So this time, instead of graphing it, we're given the graph and we have to write the inequality. Okay, so let's start with letter A. I like to put my y there. The easiest thing to spot first is my y-intercept. So that's going to give me a -3. Now I have to worry about my slope. So I'm trying to find another spot that goes through the corner of the box, right there on the line. So I'm going to go up 1 to the right 1. So my slope is up 1 to the right 1, which will give me +1 over 1. So my slope is 1. So that gives me 1x or x. I'm shaded above, and it's solid. So above and solid is greater than or equal to. So that is the inequality. Now, one possible solution is really anything in the shaded region. So I'm going to go -4, 1. That's a solution. That would be okay. All right, let's look at letter B. Same thing here. Let's take a look at what we have. So my y, I'm going to put my y here. My y-intercept is 0, so I'm going to just put that right there as a placeholder. And I'm going to use this point, and it looks like this goes through the corner of the box. So I go up 1 to the right 3. So my slope is up 1 to the right 3. So that gives me positive 1/3. So it's going to be 1/3 x. And I'm shaded below, and it's dashed. So that becomes less than. Now, I don't really need that plus 0 at the end, so I'm just going to get rid of that. I'm going to erase that. So that's what I have there. Y is less than 1/3 x. And that's it. Now, one possible solution is, again, anything in the shaded region. So I could go over 3 and down 2, and I could say 3, -2 is a solution. Because this line is dashed, I'm not including any values or any points on that line. Okay, let's look at our last one. Again, our y-intercept is 1, so I'm going to have my y there, my +1 over here. I'll pick another point that's on that line that goes through the corner of the box. I'm going to go down 2 to the right 1. So my slope is down 2 to the right 1, which gives me -2 over 1, which simplifies to -2. So that gives me -2x. Now, again, below, and I'm a solid line. So that gives me less than or equal to. So y is less than or equal to -2x plus 1. Okay, thanks so much for stopping by today. You have a great day.